everyone, and welcome to card number 4. So starting off with this golf cart image from the Paper Smooches My Guy stamp set. I'm inking it up with Brilliant's graphite black ink and stamping it onto CC Designs Copic Quality 110-pound cardstock. So just making sure I've got the ink completely covering the stamp, since it's a brand new clear stamp, so I want to get good coverage. And this ink is pretty much the best for that. So yeah, stamp it onto the cardstock, got perfect coverage, and then I just use my heat tool to set the ink. Since it's a pigment ink, it can take a long time to dry, so I was using my heat tool to dry it up completely. And then I'm just going to quickly color it in with Copic markers, keeping it really simple. I'm just using my BG quadruple 0 just to lightly go along some of the edges because I just want to keep it white. And then I'm going to go in with C1, which is the lightest gray. I just filled in the tires and then colored the clubs with that. And then I'm going to use my R17, just add a little bit of red. And then finally my YG25 for a little bit of green. So then I want to add just a little bit of shading around the image. So I just used the same C1 and just kind of lightly run around it. Didn't bother like blending it or anything. Just again, kept everything really simple. And then I decided I wanted to add a little bit more red because it was just kind of looking too plain and too white. So I colored the little tail light and headlight with it, and then I decided to color the seat red too. So once that's done, I'm going to go onto the card itself. Again, same white cardstock, and then I just grabbed this scrap of, I think this is the same soft sky used in the previous, like a couple videos ago. No, last video. Yeah, last video. It's still sitting on my desk, so I thought, why not? I'll just use that. And then I grabbed some more pattern paper from the Echo Park for the Record set, because again, that was sitting on my desk. Why not use whatever's handy? So I grabbed a scrap of the newsprint paper from the pack, and then these sentiments are all still from the My Guy set. So I just inked those up with VersaFine ink, stamped them onto the pieces of newsprint paper. And then that's all done. And then I just used scissors to trim the edges because I didn't want them perfect. Oh, and for the green pattern paper, I just used the Martha Stewart grass edger punch. There's tons of different punches out there and different grass edger dies that'll work, because this punch I think was discontinued. But again, it was sitting on my desk, so why not use it? So I had cut the main piece with that, and then I cut a thinner piece with the grass edger punch again. But before I get to that, I just adhered those front parts separately because I wanted to add this ribbon. I didn't want to staple it through the whole card so that the back of the staple doesn't show. Just some AmyR's red ribbon, and then I used my Tim Holtz tiny attacher stapler to staple it to the piece of cardstock. And then I'm going to adhere that to the card. That way it keeps the inside of the card from showing like the backs of staples and just keeps it clean. Kind of just a little OCD thing on my part. So finally I attached the thinner piece of the grass paper and then adhered the sentiments. And that's all there was to it for the card, or for the outside anyway. Super simple. And then for the inside, I wanted it to say Happy Father's Day, but I didn't have any Paper Smooches stamps that actually say that. So I took the Happy from the Birthday Buddies stamp set, stamped it onto another piece of the newsprint paper, and then for Father's, I just spelled it out using the Alpha Dot stamp set. So lined up all the letters onto an acrylic block and then stamped that onto a piece of the pattern paper. And then finally I inked up just the day part of the Bark Day sentiment from the Birthday Buddy set again and stamped that, and that way I've got my Happy Father's Day sentiment. So again, I just used my scissors to trim it out because I didn't want to keep it completely perfect. And then I grabbed another piece of the green pattern paper, and then this time I just used a pencil to kind of sketch kind of like a rolling green, since we're going with a golf theme here. So sketch that with pencil, trimmed it out with scissors, and then just erase the pencil lines so that those aren't showing anymore. And then this little golf, the flag and ball is from the My Guy set again. And I just stamped the ball onto the white part of the pattern paper, like just the scrap part you'd throw it anyway, and trimmed out just the ball. You'll see why in a minute. So then I'm going to adhere the cardstock and the green pattern paper to the inside of the card. And sorry, I wasn't really paying attention when I did this part. Like, I didn't realize I was pretty much half off camera. I was just more concentrating on the card itself. So got those adhered, and then adhered all the little sentiments down. and then inked up the little flag and ball stamp again with the VersaFine ink, and then stamped that onto the inside of the card, just like so. And I went with that rather than the Brilliance ink. Just, I don't know what I was thinking. I could have just done the Brilliance and heat set it, but I used the VersaFine ink, and then I adhered that little ball that I had cut out of the white cardstock or paper. And then I'm just dabbing the green and then the red Copic markers onto the areas, and I'm dabbing and not like trying to touch the lines at all, because VersaFine ink is not meant for Copics. Like, it can bleed really easily and smear, so just gently dab it on until I filled it in. That's all there was to it. There'll be a link down below with links to all the supplies used, as always, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!